Hello, awesome academic strategies class. This is your favorite teacher in the whole world, Mr. Torrey, and you are watching my first YouTube video. I mean, we all know I'm famous at JLS, but I want to be famous online now. So I know millions will flock to my memorization lesson I'm going to do right now for you guys, but I just want you guys to see it. So I miss you all very much, and I hope you're doing well, but here we go. Let's see if this goes well. So we're going to review some memory techniques that we've already done. So I know everyone is looking in their binders right now and finding this piece of paper that says Overview of Memory Techniques. Well, here it is. The first one, repetition. Remember, that one is the read it, write it, say it. So we're doing it over and over again. And usually we see this kind of memorization technique used for flashcards, like studying vocab words with their definitions, or maybe some famous people with events that they did, or dates, certain things that happen on certain dates. So it's a really popular, common memorization technique that we talked about. I don't want to forget about it because I definitely want you to be using this. And again, I posted, I think it was week 1 flow or week 2 flow, a link to 100 most important words for middle schoolers to know. And I will test you on that somehow. So if you want to be studying that, flashcards are a great way of doing that. The second technique that we talked about was visualization. And again, you're all remembering visualization is that making a mental picture in your mind. And I gave you the example that we remember books that we read because there's a nice plot and a storyline, and we can visualize the setting and the people and the characters and kind of what's going on. It's harder to do that with textbooks because there's no story, but we can train our minds to do that by visualizing whatever we're reading, like in a science textbook about fossilization, and maybe we're visualizing the fish dying and going to the bottom of the ocean and being covered with sediment, and again and again, and then its bones sort of being decomposing. Imagine the flesh coming off its bones, and it's kind of horrific, I know, but if we visualize that, that might help us remember the process of fossilization. So that leads us to our third memory technique that we have not done yet, and this one is association. And you might go, what does association mean? I don't know. Well, I'm going to tell you. Association is when we cluster information into meaningful groups or relate something that we already know to what new information we're given. So this is done in a couple different ways. So let's just say, for instance, that we have a whole bunch of groups of things. Like your parents say, hey, we need you to go to the grocery store for us, which of course is impossible to happen right now. And they list like 15 different things for you to go and get at the market. So you might go, I can't remember that list. That's hard. Or even if you write it down, it's like, let's say you forgot the list and you don't have your phone to remember, whatever. You can't call them and ask them again. So if before you leave, you kind of put things into meaningful groups or cluster the information, it might help you. Like you might say, oh, well, I'm going to put all the meat into one category. She wants me to get 4 drumsticks. And she wants me to get 1 pound of ground beef. Okay, so that is sort of one category. And then maybe there's dry goods is your other category. So you've got pasta or cereal. And then maybe your third category is the 3 different canned goods your parents wanted you to get, like chicken soup and olives and Miss Abner's favorite thing to get, chili, right? And so all those things are sort of made clumped together. So you're associating those in different categories, and then it's easier to remember what you might need to get at the store. So for instance, I'll give you an example. Let's say that I want you to memorize all these things right here: airplanes, baseball, soccer, couch, chair, cars, basketball, trains, and hockey. Just remembering that list in order might seem kind of hard to do because it's just random words. Well, are they so random? Let's just look. I see airplanes here. Now, airplanes is a type of vehicle, right? It transports people, it flies around. Is there anything else on here that maybe transports people? Well, a baseball doesn't, a soccer doesn't, a couch does the opposite of transport people. Chair, no. Cars, well, cars, they transport people. That kind of goes with airplanes. Basketball doesn't. Trains, well, that transports people for sure. Hockey, not so much. Bicycles, they transport people. So I might say, well, those four things might be transport. And I could write those lists down. Airplanes, cars, trains, and bikes. Okay? Well, let's look at the other random words we have on here. Baseball, soccer, couch, chair, basketball, hockey. In your mind, you're probably already thinking of some things that some of these have in common. Like maybe you're saying, well, some of those are sports. Maybe they're sports I don't like, but regardless, they're sports. So I might have a category called sports. And I use a different color because that's how cool I am. Well, let's see, there's baseball's a sport, soccer's a sport, couch. Well, I know some kids would probably say that sitting on your couch is a sport because it takes a lot of skill to sit and, watch TV, but we're going to skip over that one. Chair is not a sport. Basketball's a sport, and so is hockey. So I would write down baseball and soccer and hockey. Okay? Got baseball, soccer. Those are all sports. My last category, my very, very last category, I've got couch and chair. Do they have something in common? Yeah, they're all things you sit in. So maybe I'll say it's furniture. I don't know. You might have a different things you want to put it, but I might say furniture. So I've got couch and chair. Couch and chair. Now, instead of remembering like these random words in order, like airplanes, baseball, soccer, couch, chair, that's a lot of random stuff. But suddenly if I now say, well, I'm going to memorize these four transport items, airplanes, cars, trains, and bikes, I can memorize those because those make more sense. They're kind of grouped together. And these sports, well, these can be grouped together too. And this furniture, these two pieces of furniture, I can group those together. And that actually is what one way that we can use association to help us memorize certain things. So in classes, you might get some random things that seem random, but maybe I can group them into something that makes more sense. All right, let me give you something else. So let's pretend Bar sees a super hot girl. Ooh, wow, Bar, one with the ladies. And she gives him his phone number. He doesn't have a cell phone on him, so he can't write it down, right? So he's got to memorize it. Good luck, Bar. So she says, my phone number is 329-4199. And if you love me, you'll memorize it. And if I'm important to you, you'll call me at exactly 4 p.m. tonight. Okay. So Bar has this task of memorizing the number 329-4199. So again, we are going to use our association techniques to try to memorize this. So I might say, if let's take this number and maybe divide it into smaller numbers that are more meaningful. So I might say, well, that 3, and again, I'm going to talk this as Mr. Torrey right now, okay? As 3, well, 3 that's the number of kids I have, okay? Bar doesn't have any kids yet, okay? But it's the number of kids I have. So 3 is important because that's the number of kids I have. 29, we all know 29 is Mr. Torrey's age, right? I don't look a day over 29. So now I have the number of kids I have, my age, 41. Well, 41, that we know that is Miss A's age, right? She doesn't look a day over 41. And at least this with 99. Maybe I've got two things that are 9s are important, but you know what? I love shopping at the 99-cent store. Don't you? So suddenly, now these numbers have more meaning to me. The number of kids I have, my age, Miss A's age, Miss A's age, and my favorite 99-cent store that I love to go to and buy items for our store at school. So now I've got this, instead of 7 different numbers, I've got 4 different numbers that have meaning to me. Right? Now maybe you would put 32 together, because 32 has a meaning for you. 32 is your I don't know, your mom's age. Or 9 is the number of times you've been to Disneyland, right? I divide it like this, but you might divide it differently. Maybe 41.99 is meaningful to you because that is the cost of some remote control car you want to get. I don't know, right? So whatever is meaningful to you is what's going to work when you're dividing the numbers. What you don't want to do is for a 7-digit number like this to have 7 different meanings for it, like a 3 and a 2 and then a 9 and then a 4 and a 1 and then 2 more 9s. That's a lot of work to do. Okay, so instead of memorizing 7 numbers, I'm only memorizing 4 numbers: 3, 21, 41, and 99. Okay, so thank goodness if Bar does this, he's going to give that super hot girl a call at 4 p.m. and we'll all be happy for him. All right, but what if we get something like a fact? I looked this fun fact up today, and did you know that it would take 1,200,000 mosquitoes if they each sucked you one time to completely drain the human body of blood? That is a fun fact. I hope to never get sucked by over 1 million mosquitoes. But let's say I've got to memorize this fact, right? There's a lot going on here. Some of it I don't really need to know, because if I probably just memorize a couple things, I'll know, oh, that's that mosquito thing. So numbers are pretty important. So 1,200,000. Well, that's like, I'll just say 1.2 million. Okay? And then I've got this word mosquitoes. Okay. So I'm just going to make this up. All right. Let's say I know, hey, there's this new, not mosquito, a new mosque. Okay. A mosque is where Muslims, or people who follow the Islam religion, where they pray. So this new mosque just moved into Palo Alto, and they paid $1.2 million for their piece of land to build this mosque. Well, suddenly now I've got this 1.2 million mosque, or 1.2 million mosquitoes, and I'm going to remember the rest of this thing, right? Sucking the blood. It's going to sort of help me remember the rest of it. Again, in history, you might read that 17 million people died in World War I. So we want to make sure that 17.1 million is meaningful to you in some way. Like, what about that 17.1 is good? 17, I want what's on 17 Mile Drive or something, or Highway 17 or something. You're making it meaningful to you. Okay, and so here's what I want you to do. I'm going to give you, make a copy of this sheet, and I want you to come up with your way if you're going to divide these things into different categories to help you memorize them. On the back side, I'm going to give you some random numbers and a couple facts and some things, and I'm going to see if you can use association to make them meaningful to you. Okay? So that is what I want you to do for your first assignment. And you are going to take a picture of it, and you are going to send it to me or Miss Abdenor, whoever you're going to be seeing for your academic strategies class for grading. Okay, this is going to be your one assignment that we're going to be giving you, kind of to keep up on this memorization techniques. Once the memorization techniques are done, we'll switch to something else, but I wanted to finish this unit first. Here, I will, you know what, I'm going to see you. You can see me in my awesome office. Okay, hold on. There we go. All right, much better. So you're going to take a picture of your work that you do, and you're going to send it to me. Send it to my email, or you can Schoology it. It doesn't really matter, whatever's easier for you. And I want you to get it to me by Friday. Okay, so 13, 14, 17. So by the 17th. Does that sound fair? I think it's pretty fair, not to do very much. Also, to remind you that we're going to have 2 academic strategies classes a week that you're going to be able to visit with me and get help with anything that you need. So I'm going to be running one class, well, one section, so 2 classes twice a week. And Miss A is going to be seeing the other section of kids twice a week as well. So I've already sent you invites to that. You should have your Zoom stuff. If you don't have that information, please email me and I will get that to you as soon as possible. Okay, this is really fun. I'm sure I'm gonna get like what, maybe 2.7 million views of this memorization technique probably within the next 3 or 4 days. I'm gonna go viral. It's just a matter of time. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. I really, really miss you guys. Okay, I hope you're doing well. And if you have any problems, you can always dial 911. That's for a totally different thing. Don't dial 911 to talk to me. No, you email me and I will get back to you immediately. Okay, I hope you guys all had a great spring break and I hope to see you soon. All right, take it easy, guys. Bye.